Hello, my loves. Okay, so hopefully after chapter 7, you're seeing how exciting this book is getting now, getting more into Hatchet. We still have a long way to go, but we're in chapter 7 now. As always, you have the link down below. Let's look at what our assignments are for today. As always, you have this here. Again, if you ever need to pause it to look, but this is just how our novel study's been working. Okay, so your first assignment, keep in mind for every chapter you have 3 different things to do. They're not super long. As long as you're focused, it shouldn't take you too long to get all 3 assignments done. So your written response today is, why do you think that Brian felt the need to take his hatchet off of his belt before he went to sleep at the end of chapter 7? So right when chapter 7 ended, he took his hatchet off his belt instead of just leaving it there. Why did he feel the need to do that? And I'm going to point out to you guys, even though I have it bolded right here for you to see, because some of you guys are forgetting, I am giving you a certain amount of sentences that need to be written. You cannot just write 1 or 2 sentences to respond to this. This is why I put a set amount of sentences for you to write to respond to this one question. And some of you are not copying down the question. I'm specifically writing every single time you do a written response. You need to copy down this question and then write your response underneath. And this one should be 3 to 5 sentences or more. More is always fine, but you need to be right in between that 3 or 5. Okay, and remember, you can always look back. You know where that PDF link is on my Lone Tree Teacher page if you ever need to look back in the book. Sometimes we can't always remember what we read if we read it during office hours and you guys are listening. It is a very good reading strategy to reread. So make sure if you have not looked up that PDF link yet and looked back at a chapter, that would be a really good thing to do if you are not remembering everything that happens when we read it together. Okay, boys and girls, your vocabulary this week. So as always, we have our vocab for the entire week, the 3 chapters we're going to read this week. Today, your only task is to copy down the words and find the dictionary definition, either using the internet or the dictionary, or a dictionary if you have it, to find the definitions of these 6 words. So we have crude, rivulets, gingerly, embedded, tendrils, and gratified. So those 6 words, you need to find the definitions, whether you use a dictionary or the internet. To find those 6 definitions, that's your second assignment for today. Go ahead and pause it if you need to write down these words. I know it's a video. I don't stay on this slide for super long, so make sure, because this is a video, that you pause it and make sure you spell these words correctly, boys and girls. I know these are bigger vocabulary words, and I specifically wanted to make sure these were more challenging as we go on in the chapters, because we do want to be ready for 6th grade next year and have that higher level vocabulary that you guys are starting to see. So make sure you pause it if you need to and copy down those words. Do not spell them incorrectly. That's why I have them right here for you. Okay. And then your final assignment for chapter 7. This should look familiar. We did this, I think, in chapter 1 through 3 week. I had you guys do a rewrite the scene. So in chapter 7, Brian comes in very close contact with a bear. The bear ended up ignoring him and walking away. And I want you to rewrite this scene as if something more happened with Brian and the bear. So in the actual scene itself, when we read it, the bear simply ignored Brian and walked away as if he was nothing. But I want you to change that scene, rewrite that scene, and tell me something else that could have happened between Brian and the bear. So the 5 things you need to make sure you do: explain what the bear did instead and how Brian handled it. So first figure out what you want the bear to have done, and then explain how Brian handled that situation. The second one is make sure you write down the thoughts that would be going through Brian's mind. Encountering a bear, I think, in any situation is going to have some things going on in your head. So make sure in your scene that you're very clear about what is Brian thinking as this situation is happening. As always, the third one, be specific about what happens, okay? And 4 kind of goes along with that third one. If you're the author and you're rewriting the scene, you do need to have details and be specific. That is what authors do. That's what makes them good writers, is the detail and their ability to put you in the story. So make sure you're adding those specific details in your scene. And the last one is include enough details and information so that your reader can understand it. After you're done, you can give your scene to somebody in your house, your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, grandparents, whoever's at your house, have them read it. See if it makes sense to them, because if it doesn't, you may not have included enough details if they're confused about what's going on. We want to make sure we have enough to where it's clear for our reader. Okay, so that was your final assignment. So as always, I end it with your list. Your first assignment is your written response. Then you have your vocabulary definitions today, and you're rewriting the scene for the bear scene with Brian. So make sure, if you don't remember what any of these things were, that you go back in the video and pause it so that you can make sure you understand exactly what you need to do for the assignment. There should be no confusion. That's why we have these videos, so that you can make sure you understand and that I explain everything in detail. If you watch the video and you still aren't quite sure, you have another question, make sure you message me on Dojo. But otherwise, rewatch that video so you're very clear on what is being asked of you. And as always, once you're done with these assignments, make sure you turn them in on your portfolio on Dojo so I can check you off. And I'll see you for the next chapter, guys.